All right. Hello. It's me, Queen Sensitivity. I feel like every time I get on here, I feel like I haven't been on here in a long time. But today, we're going to be doing an energetic update. And before we start, I want to just take a moment to just breathe and acknowledge ourselves, acknowledge yourself. Like, take a moment to be really grateful and thankful for yourself because you have done a lot. The message that I've been getting is you arrived and it's time. I've been seeing 1, 2, 3 all day long, and it's fairly still early in the day, and I've been seeing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 0, 2, 3, like 1, 1, 2, 3 all day long, and for a while too. And I just feel like we've arrived. I want to start this reading with opening up this book that I was really attracted to. It's a little sticky. It's called Good Girl, Bad Blood, back when I used to purchase books. Yeah, and this is the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is, this is book 2. I think I'll read the, ooh! You can't make this up. I did not open this book before. Remember I just said 1023? Look at the date that I wrote. October 23rd. Oh my God, I'm too good. I'm good. These little things get on my nerves. I might move them out of my face. Let's see. I get irritated easily. I'm quite sensitive. This is one of the reasons I don't wear like jewelry. Took me a while to get used to these because I'm very sensitive to stuff touching me. So it says something old, something new, something hollowed, something screwed, and it was all for the taking of two. So yeah, vows, getting married, something old, something new. This is all I've been feeling. I have had dreams about weddings. I've had dreams about pregnancies, engagements. Been seeing a lot of like white wedding dresses, veils. Yeah, something also new, something hollowed, something screwed, and it was all for the taking of two. And I feel like the 2 here is like representing union, and it's just nice. I feel like one of the best things about the space that we're all in right now is that we're no longer abandoning our shadow selves. We're no longer categorizing everything into this and that, and this is bad, and so we don't talk about it. And we've been basically forced, and I think, it's been beautiful in its own way, to let go of those things. And I guess to kind of elaborate on what I mean, to give an example, like, so now whenever something inconvenient happens to me, my little bird, even though I'm frustrated, I allow myself to be frustrated because I get frustrated, I still view it from the perspective of like, somehow, some way, this is for the best. This is a blessing for me. And so it's no longer, I made a mistake, or, I didn't do this right and this wrong. And, it's fine to acknowledge and, take accountability for things that I've done. But also, like, there's no need to sit and stew in it. And it's also no need to separate it from the things that I've done right. Because ultimately, everything is a part of my beautiful experience here. And it's all coming together perfectly. That's the feeling that I've been feeling. I feel very strange. I feel like I've crossed over, like gone through a portal, and everything feels very different. This has happened to me before, but this one feels much more profound. Like, it's just very different. In that, was it the Doctor Who movie? I think the second Doctor Strange. The second Doctor Strange movie, where he visited all those different universes, and it's like, it's the same, but like there's something like slightly different that's like very tangible. I don't really know how to describe it besides that, so I'll just leave it. Hopefully you know what I mean. My little puff, she was like, and then I also have this piece of paper. I don't know why I stuff random pieces of paper. I don't know. I feel like this is relevant to somebody, but for my senior prank, me and my beautiful art squad, me and my best friend in high school, we did a prank where we put like little quotes and notes, and we would leave them randomly in library books for people to find. So this one says colors, March 29th. It's just a list of like color names: pink, purple, white, cream. Everyone's car is covered in a green blanket of pollen. So I feel like the green blanket of pollen, everybody is being covered by the divine love of the universe. The heart chakra has been very much activated. And I'm gonna read this. What is this? A poem by Jabria. December 2021. So I'm gonna read this. If you've paid any attention to anything, you grow to know a few things. That it rains when it gets too hot, and that it floods when the ground is knotted, and all of those little roots that were decayed, rotted, are cut loose. Even swing sets get shaken from the ground when children come, and their children come too. Even the school bell sound slows the moving of tinkered shoes. If you paid attention at all, you know a few things. You know about the beginning, then you know about the end. And you know that if a bird flies south, it will come back again. The story to note here is not the difference in the distance between Mexico or Maine, or the break of December and the fresh start of a new year, but to notice that all it takes is one cynical second to remove them from being the same. So if you have paid any attention to anything at all, to anything at all, then you already know the flight certainly comes with the fall. And so this was actually a Christmas present poem that I wrote for my cousin. And I feel like the message to take from this random spontaneous poem that I stuffed in this book is exactly what I was saying in the intro. Like, there is very little difference between left and right. All of this compartmentalization is separating, and we're done with that. And I feel like I can feel that in the field, like people no longer hating themselves. And it's also this feeling of like you get pushed and pushed and pushed to the brink so much that you just stop doing all of the calculations and the trying. Like, I've been seeing a lot of very hilarious videos about the US government announces that they have proof of alien life, and people are like making fun of it because we're so desensitized. It's like so many things keep being announced on the news and so much shit always happening all the time that you can't keep on processing, oh, let's be scared, let's be traumatic. And so you just are like, oh, okay, you know, what's new? And that is a space of freedom, you know what I mean? And like I say often, this is not to say don't have any boundaries or don't have discernment or don't pay attention or care about anything. But like I said, it is to say that God, the universe, our higher selves, the angels, spirit team, whatever you want to say, however you want to call it, they push us so much to the point where you have to stop. You have to stop. And once you stop, you realize that you are free. And that the whole time, the prison that you were living in was of your own choice. And this isn't to say that, you know, terrible things don't happen or that you don't have bad emotions or negative feelings or, you know, no longer, nothing ever sucks again. But once your perspective changes on things that do suck, it's like, who gonna check me, boo? Like, that's sure what's your rain? Who gonna check me, boo? Like, it's that, and it's like, once I know who I am to the point where I know that no matter what, everything is divine. Somehow, I may not know how, you no longer are under like supervision of fear. And once you're out of supervision of fear, then you out. Who gonna check you? Okay, and I'm being called to read this page. This book is very compelling to me. I actually gotten other books out to read about, but this one was like, no, choose me. So what I love about this book by Holly Jackson is that she writes down like the investigations like this, the recordings. So it says, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Season 2, interview with Adam Clark. Pip, so let's start on how you and Layla met. One of my students is named Layla. Okay, anonymous, distorted voice. We never met, not in real life. Pip, right, but what was your first online communication? Who initiated contact? Did you contact the match on Tinder? Anonymous, no. I'm not on there. It was Instagram. I have my account set to private so that beep. One day, I think near the end of February, this woman, Layla, requested to follow me. I checked out her profile, thought she looked nice, and clearly she was local to Fairview because she had photos from around town. I'd only been living here a couple of months then and hadn't really had a chance to meet any people outside of beep. I thought it might be nice to get to know someone new. So I approved her and followed her back. Like a couple of her photos, I swear she looked a lot older than 18 in her pictures. Pip, did you start messaging each other directly? Anonymous, yes, I got a DM from Layla, something like, hey, thanks for following me back, she said. She thought she recognized me as if I lived in Fairview. I'm not going to go into all the particulars of our conversation, by the way. Pip, yes, I understand. So to clarify the nature of your and Layla's conversations, would you say they were romantic, flirtatious? Anonymous doesn't respond. Okay, so what I'm feeling from this is that a lot of truths are coming to light, which is something that I've mentioned before, and I'm sure everybody's kind of seen everywhere. I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4 on the camera. Disclosure is happening. I feel like I need to move up. Disclosure is happening everywhere, and I feel like what's happening is like the inversions are being corrected. It's like people that, I don't know, we're pretending to be like innocent, quote unquote, are being revealed to have their true intentions are being revealed. And then people who like loved you or like wanted to support you, but we're doing it from like a offhand kind of way, but like a hidden kind of way. It's becoming apparent, like no more hiding of any sort. And I feel like for a lot of us, this has to do with conversations and how we communicate with one another. Okay? Hope that wasn't too boring. But yeah, one thing that I've definitely noticed, I had to take a big leap, and I keep having to take big leaps ever since August started. I feel like it really started July 31st when those energies were coming in. But certainly August, I've been pushed, and it's only August 2nd, I've been pushed several times to have to really stand my ground. Like a lot of times I've been able to kind of duck and dodge, speaking my mind, backing myself up, or saying no indefinitely, or like with a sort of permanence. I've been able to kind of like, I don't know, teeter things off and kind of play the middle ground before. And now, since these new energies have arrived and we've kind of like gone through a massive gateway, the Lions Portal gateway, it's already open. I have been incapable, I don't know, to kind of play in the middle ground. I've been forced and pushed to say yes or no really definitely and stand my ground. And I know for sure This is preparing me for the abundance that I've been manifesting for all these years, that we've been manifesting all these years. And honestly, it shouldn't take years for us to manifest these things because we're magicians. Strategy. So, yeah, this is what I was saying. Spirit strategy or Spirit's plan, I feel, which is our plan, 1522, is becoming really obvious. I feel like a lot of stuff is about to start making sense. A lot of the little dots are going to be connected. I feel like it's already being shown, like, oh, this is why that happened. There'll be a lot of moments like that where you feel like you know now. You know that saying, it's like, it'll make sense later. This is the later. I don't know. I feel and I know for sure that all of us are being called to be fearless. I don't know if that's the right word, but brave, because I feel like the fear is still to be there. But a lot of us are being called to be brave and courageous, warriors of the heart. And I feel and I know for sure that a lot of us are answering this call because it's very clear. That's what I was saying. Like, the strategy is becoming very clear. And although even in my own life, I don't see all the way down the road, at least now I know for sure that there is a road. Like, there is a yellow brick road and it goes far. It goes this way. And I might not know what I'll need to do at the next turn, or if I need a raincoat for this day or whatever. But before, I feel like it was a lot of fog or trees and stuff covering the road. And so you had this feeling of there's more for me, but is there? You know what I mean? And I feel like now Spirit has definitely stepped in and said yes, there is. So we have, I don't know why the air is on. It's really getting on my nerves. So we have some oracle cards. I'll pull them back so you can see. Feeling this one. Attachment. Beautiful. 1722. We are being called to... Everything is really loud. I can hear a lot of stuff. So if I don't say coherent words, that's why. It's because I'm getting several messages at once, and it's hard to speak. So please slow down so I can hear. So we are being called to let go of attachments in order to free up space for abundance. And this is something that I've talked about before. So let me just kind of elaborate on this, and also to create space, because I keep getting flashes in my head of this show I'm watching called The First Alaskans. I think it's living life below zero or something like that, with indigenous people who are from Alaska. And 3 different sets of families, they were all building these outdoor structures. They had different purposes. One person was building it to put their food high up off the ground so that the bears couldn't reach it. Another family was building on the ground house to store logs and wood for fire. And then the third family was using it as a shed to keep their, I think it's called ARVs, their bikes. I'm not a bike person, but because the extreme temperatures can hurt them. And it was for storage for the ARVs, the motorcycle things and the dirt bike things, but the snowmobiles and stuff like that. And it was also supposed to be a workshop so that the dad could go in there and tinker with his things. But the point is, they all made outside structures in preparation for the future. And, I'm on to something. Something just clicked. I don't know if you heard that. This is what Spirit is asking you to do. This is what Spirit is asking me to do, and other people that I know. I have been asked to leave my job. And this is what I mean. Clear out, establish a space so that something more and better can fill it. And it's very, very clear. This is what I was saying with this strategy card. It's no longer is it gonna be, filled. It's a matter of when and how. And even those Spirit are asking you to just kind of let go of that attachment to the when and how. The knowing is much more powerful, and substantial and concrete, defined than time and way. Does that make sense? Like, for example, growing up, and my mama, we all talk about this all the time, how my grandmother, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, she always came through with anything that you ever needed, especially materially. It might be late. You might not know, when. She might bring it, like if you need school supplies. It might not be 2 weeks before school start, but you're gonna have it. And how she got it, who knows? Miracles, abundance, Maybe she mowed a lawn. But just know it's gonna be there. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that knowing is more powerful than you knowing when or how. When you have that kind of trust, and let's just give an example, keep on the track of like parents. Like, I know for sure my parents or something, or whoever you trust, is gonna provide something for me. You don't know how, you don't know when, but you know. And that knowing is more powerful than a date or time. It's more significant. And that is what we all have, the parent of spirit. Of God, the Father, the Mother. We have that. And that's what they're asking you to know, and you know it. Make a space in preparation for the future. Clear out, build that space, have it ready to hold what's coming for you. And I don't mean like physically go build a log cabin. Though, all if you want to, go do that. I'll move on. Hostilities. I'm hearing this one goes with this one. So these are some good cards. These cards, I feel like, are tackling like your deepest fears. By the way, this is probably gonna have a part 2, so go watch that video and give this video a thumbs up while you watching right here, and leave a comment. I like comments. So I love that all these cards, they're not like pretty da 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 da. This is what I was saying at the beginning about no longer fearing and like kind of scattering away and disconnecting away from our shadow aspects and things about us that we don't like or feel shameful about. So let's talk about hostilities and indecision. So I feel like these two messages blend together. So it's like, don't be hostile to anything that, I don't know, it's like, don't be in resistance to anything. Like, whenever I hear something that's gonna be, I don't know, that I think is gonna be unconventional, or what's the word? An inconvenience, I'm just like, okay. So I'll give you an example. I was scheduled to go to an eye appointment, and they kept saying that they were having trouble with my insurance. Like, they wasn't going through. And I was just like, okay. And so I just let it go. I went to the appointment. And when I got there, the person at the desk was like, oh, I still haven't been able to find your insurance. And I was like, okay. That's all I said. I said, okay. And then like 5 minutes later, they were like, oh, I got it. And it cleared through. And it's like, that's the mentality that Spirit wants you to have. I just saw 23:32. Don't be hostile to things that you think are gonna be inconvenient. Don't resist them. And you not being in resistance is actually what dissolves it and clears it out of the way. Like this person swinging this sword. Also, Spirit wants you to be protective of your peace and your sacred energy life force. I'm being called to go ahead and start the part 2. So scurry on to part 2, please. I'll see you there.